Gonna take a deep breath in. Make sure there's space here sometimes before I do this. I like to stretch here, literally stretch my nostril. Feel like the space. Sometimes it gets like very dry here, especially in the winter time. So it feels nice to breathe in very strongly when you're pulling those places apart. So you can really feel the air just traveling through. And as you're breathing in through your nose, make sure you're feeling your shoulder gently, not like a force, but like gently opening up, because naturally your lungs are expanding and it's just opening things up, yeah? All right. I'll do this very short opening prayer for peace because of everything that's going on. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. There's a beautiful full moon coming up. Today there's a beautiful alignment of Moon and Jupiter. This full moon is going to be quite not too far from Mars. Actually, if you'll be able to notice when the moon is full, you could see Mars disappearing behind the moon. There's that, and Mars is very close to Earth right now, and it's very bright. So if you're somewhere where there is visibility, go out and observe this phenomena, especially during the full moon. Now, I just want to take a minute to honor and send love to all of the community down in California and Los Angeles. I love Los Angeles. It's a very special place that's very dear to me. There's a lot of people that are very special there. I love the people there. I used to live there, and the people were just a big part of what I loved about Los Angeles and Pasadena. So my heart goes out to anyone, everyone that's suffering, who's lost their homes. It's heart-wrenching. We say that, and I think it's a great expression to say that it's heart. It hurts the heart in a very constricting and painful way. I'm very sorry for your loss, your suffering, the pain, the fear, all of it. When there are karmic moments and times and we experience a shift in our destiny, we experience something being ripped away from us, we experience losing something that's dear, we experience a terrible accident, when those junctures in time comes, it takes away a part of innocence. And that's something that's very real and very, I don't know that I like the word difficult, but it's something that we live through and we experience in life. And that's why compassion is so important. People often speak of love, and I think, love and hate sometimes can go hand in hand, and light and darkness, but compassion goes beyond all those sentiments, because compassion takes in the account of the suffering and the hardships and the pain and the part of our innocence that have been taken away through the hand of destiny. And oftentimes as we age, we understand very deeply the phrase, I'm not the person I used to be. Sometimes it can be a very difficult divorce, sometimes loss, whatever it is that kind of chips or rips away our innocence becomes a big part of our story and the things we carry. And each and every one of us carry something, and that's why we practice compassion with each other and the common human experience of both the beautiful things in our life, the excitement, the getting a new home, and the part where there is loss and difficulties, because all of these are vibrant experiences that leave marks in us. So to anyone that's lost a part of their innocence through this terrible time, I'm very sorry. So today we have this beautiful Moon-Jupiter conjunction. I hope it brings some good luck and some good things, especially to people. I know there's a lot of GoFundMes going around. There's also a lot more agitation in the world. There's a lot going on. Now, we've been talking about this for a long time, but we're coming close to this very difficult conjunction that's very brings about a lot of chaos, and that's going to culminate in April, March, which is going to be a difficult time and very chaotic. So things are going to increase in this vibration. And we'll all have to practice our compassion and be patient and take care of ourselves and each other through it. But just be ready and be mindful. Because of this increase in chaos that we're going to be seeing, especially in the coming week, there's no reason why, if you're able to afford it, that you shouldn't have extra food at your home to at least feed you and your family and your kids for a couple weeks. I'm not saying that the world is ending, but we're seeing a very big juncture in time where there's a lot of chaos and very sudden things and difficult things. So there's no reason why not to have that. It's not a big deal. It doesn't mean that you're an end of the worlder again, or you know, something dramatic. It's just being mindful, because we know it's a very unstable time. So make sure, you know, you have some cans. Make sure you have extra food if you need to, for whatever reason. And we're hoping to not, we can just use it in the summer, spring, or next fall when things are a bit more calmer. If we haven't used it, that's great. But make sure you have that. Make sure, you know, there is gas in your car. Don't let it go below half. These are things that I literally do, and I live in Switzerland. There's nothing much happening here, but because we're in such chaotic time, you know, I make sure I know where my passport is. There is gas in my car. I have food for me and my dogs. And I have an envelope. I have extra cash that is set aside for whatever reason. And I go about my life, and those things are there just as a precaution. And I pray I don't have to use it. I pray it just doesn't it become something irrelevant eventually. But again, very chaotic times. So take care of yourself and make sure you're ready. Now, this full moon, it's going to be taking place on Monday night. She's going to be full right on the edge for the next couple of months. Every full moon is going to be right on the edge between signs. So this time it's going to be on the edge in Sidereal Gemini and Sidereal Cancer. And we mentioned this, but that's going to be very close to Mars. And Mars is starting to enter unstable degrees. Mars is getting closer to this time we talked about, where it's going to be transitioning in between degrees, which is quite inauspicious. So, and Venus and Saturn are going to be in conjunction a few days before. So especially around January 18th, 20th, it's going to be extra fiery conflict, some difficult time. And especially because Venus is caught in this. Venus has a lot to say about health. And when we see a combination where there is Venus that's caught in an affliction with everything else that we've talked about, it shows death, increased death. So let's go back to this full moon. This full moon is going to be quite Mars heavy, which we're already seeing. It's in a couple days, and there's a lot of fires. Very close to Mars. It's going to be in between Gemini and Cancer. Gemini is our natural third house of the zodiac. It's a sign that's ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules over the earth element. And especially Mercury, especially with this Gemini sign. Gemini is said to be really fun and playful. There's a playfulness to it. It said it rules over things like gambling, but also sports and games. But Mercury is also the ability to communicate and organize in incredible ways. I know someone who's an amazing Jyotishi, Vedic astrologer, and he has the blessings of Mercury. And when he organizes things, it's incredible. So he has this ability to organize, and also to organize financial financial life, financial well-being. So in the same thing, financial planning, being good with money, being good with the resource of money. There is this aspect of earth, of being able to be good with the earth. Same thing with the plants, being able to hold wealth. So it's really good to tune into this energy to do our financial review, how I'm spending my money, where I can be a bit smarter, what I can do better. There's also this aspect of the things you have in your home that you may have accumulated. How can I honor these? Because these are a part of my wealth, the things I have bought, the things that become a part of who I am on earth. We expand outwards. I often think about that, like our soul and the way we're seeing the world and experiencing the world, and we're creating outwards, we're creating space in space. Yeah, so those spaces become really a part of us, so it's really difficult when it gets ripped away from you. But yeah, it's really good to kind of review how we're dealing with the earth element in our life. And the earth has this abundance. We're talking about money, but we plant that seed and we water them and we take care of it and we watch it grow with the sun, and we can feed ourselves with it. There's a real being able to organize and maneuver around the wealth of food and well-being. And actually, there's a combination. If you have that in your D9 in the 9th division of your charts, which is called the Navamsha, if there is the blessing of Moon and Mercury, it's a really special combination for people that do herbal medicine, that are able to heal with earth. Now, just be mindful right after this full moon on the 14th, it's going to be Sankranti. It's a very special day. It's a very special, Sankranti is when the sun begins its transit through a sign. So the sun is going to begin its transit on the 14th of January through the sign of Capricorn. It's a very significant moment in time because we say that when the sun begins its transit through Capricorn, it marks a 6-month time where the gods awaken. So there is 6 months from when the sun is in Capricorn to when the sun is in Cancer, where the gods are awakened, and then they say they are set to go to sleep for the other half of the year. And so it's a very special juncture, moment in time, especially in the Vedic calendar, that's very honored and celebrated. But what's important to understand about the 14th of January is that when the sun is in between sign, it's not very lucky to start new things. So just remember that you can keep your day-to-day life and work. Just starting new things isn't auspicious on the 14th, which is right after the full moon. So that's why I'm mentioning this, because the full moon is going to be on the night of the 13th. So we talked a little bit about Earth and money and how we're relating to Earth with this full moon. And we mentioned a very strong Mars influence, being that it's very close to the planet Mars, that you're going to be able to observe in the sky in occultation, where Mars is going to travel behind the full moon, and you'll be able to see it again. Mars is also very bright and very close to the Earth right now. And Mars is about our ability to express our frustration or anger and the way we're dealing with that part of ourselves. It's been a theme for a long while, for a couple of months now. I hope you liked this full moon review. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe, become part of this community. I'm sending you much love and blessings. There's going to be maybe this weekend, a little later, there's going to be a newsletter that's going to be sent out. So sign up for that if you're not on it already. And in the next couple weeks, I'll be announcing something very special. I'm going to be teaching a course that's specifically for women and dating and Vedic astrology. And I'm excited. And part of the proceeds are going to go to GoFundMe's for different people that have lost their homes in Los Angeles. So stay tuned for that. My name is Aurélie, and I'm a Vedic astrologer.